Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel, or if you are new here, I am Silver Shepherd and I talk about anything and everything gold and silver related. And if you've ever wondered whether or not you could actually retire from your silver fund, or at least help take some of the pressure off, then this video is just for you. Because today we're breaking down the real numbers behind silver-based retirement, and I can promise you the answers are not exactly what you would expect. In the video, we are going to cover how much silver you realistically need, what type of silver matters most, what growth scenarios actually look like, and the part that everyone gets wrong when doing this specific calculation. So don't go anywhere, because if you stack silver even casually, today's video might completely change the way you think about your long-term plan. So before we actually talk about the amounts, we need to talk about the purpose of silver. And it's not just a shiny metal that you throw in a safe. It's a long-term hedge against inflation, an asset with historically low downside but explosive upside during monetary stress, a diversification tool that balances a traditional retirement portfolio, and most importantly, a form of real money with no counterparty risk. Here's the kicker with that though. Silver's role in a retirement fund is not to replace your entire 401k, Roth IRA, or investment account. Silver shines when it's used as a foundation, the safety net of that portfolio. And by the way, later in this video, I'll show you the simple formula that lets you calculate exactly how much silver you personally need. So stick with me till then. People mainly use silver for retirement in three different ways, and which one you choose changes how much you need. So in the first category, we have the security buffer, and this is whenever your silver is just used as an emergency backup in case the stock market tanks or inflation spikes. So the goal would be to protect purchasing power and not fund your entire retirement. So the typical target for this would be about 500 to 2,000 ounces. The second thing is partial retirement funding. This is whenever silver is meant to cover part of your monthly costs, maybe groceries, utilities, or health expenses. The goal for this is to provide consistent liquidity year after year. Typical target for this one is 2,000 to 8,000 ounces. Number three is the full retirement backing, and this is whenever silver is meant to fully fund your retirement for 20 to 30 years. And the goal is to replace income and be a true safety net. So the typical target would be 10,000 to 25,000 ounces of silver. But here's the trap most people hear: 10,000 ounces, and instantly think it's impossible. But it is not. In the next section, I will show you exactly why. And the answer is because you do not need to stack fast. It's not a sprint, it's a marathon. You just need to stack consistently. If you stack 10 ounces per week at today's price of $50, that's 520 ounces per year, 5,200 ounces in 10 years, 10,400 ounces in 20 years, and 15,600 ounces in 30 years. Even at $50 an ounce, these numbers are very doable over a long period of time. To figure out how much you actually will need, we have to estimate the future silver prices. Now, silver is already $50 an ounce, so keep that in mind as we walk through these numbers. It changes the math in your favor more than you may think. So let's look at three simple price models. And scenario A is the slow growth. Silver price rises only slightly above today's price, so $50 to $60 in 20 years. Scenario B is the market stress, and that's higher demand, lower supply, and dollar weakness. And we can see it being around 75 to 125 ounces. In scenario C, major revaluation scenario, systematic monetary shifts or supply-demand breakpoints, and we could see silver hitting around 150 to 300 plus dollars an ounce. So keep in mind, because I'll use all three when we calculate how much silver a person actually needs. So now let's break down the real retirement numbers, and let's assume you want $2,000 per month covered by silver for at least 20 years. That means you need to take 2,000 times 12 months in a year times the 20 years that you'll need it, and you get $480,000 worth of purchasing power. Now let's run the numbers based on the updated price scenarios, starting with today's price of $50. So scenario A, let's use $55 for the midpoint average. $480,000 divided by 55 is 8,727 ounces that you will need. This is already thousands fewer than what it was when silver was $25 or $30. Scenario B, silver at $100, and using 100 is a clean midpoint. $480,000 divided by 100 is 4,800 ounces of silver. It's very achievable for long-term stackers. In scenario C, silver at $200, and if silver revalues during a financial shift, you could see this happen. So $480,000 divided by 200 is 2,400 ounces. And this is the 2,500 ounce retirement target many stackers talk about online. So what type of silver should you actually be stacking for this? And let's talk about it. 60-70% should probably be in generic silver rounds or bars. It's still the most efficient option, even with silver at $50, just to get the most money and most ounces for your dollar. The second thing should be 20 ounces roughly of government bullion. American Silver Eagles, like you see up here, Britannias, or Maple Leafs that you see down there. And liquidity matters more as silver prices rise and as time goes on. And these are some of the most liquid coins that there is. And third is the 10%, kind of flex silver that you can use for smaller fractional pieces with junk silver or anything like that, useful for slowly selling during retirement. And then you have an optional 5% for premium collectibles, only if you enjoy it, or take that 5%, divide it up into the other categories, or put it all into one to help build those ones up. So here is the simple plan to follow. Pick your retirement goal, buffer, supplement, or full funding. Choose a target ounces range based on the updated price scenarios. Set a weekly or monthly stacking amount you can maintain over the long period. Prioritize ounces over the hype and stay consistent, because consistency beats timing the market every single time. And if you do that, you'll be shocked at how quickly your stack grows and how realistic a silver-backed retirement actually can become, especially now that silver is already at $50 an ounce. So before we wrap up, we need to talk about something that can make or break your entire silver retirement plan, because the truth is, people don't fail because silver doesn't work. They fail because they make these 4 crucial mistakes, and if you avoid them, your retirement strategy becomes much, much easier. And mistake number 1 that most new stackers obsess over is price. They wait for dips, they hesitate when spot jumps, and they treat silver like a short-term investment. But the reality is, retirement stacking is an ounce game, not a price game. If silver is $50 today, if it drops to $45 tomorrow, if it spikes to $60 next month, it does not matter if your goal is 4,000 to 10,000 ounces over decades. Your future self will not care whether you paid $47 or $52. They'll care how much you actually ended up stacking. Mistake number 2 is that stackers spend years buying silver, then hit retirement and go, okay, now how do I actually sell this? When you plan for retirement, you need a liquidation strategy. Who will you sell to? How often? What size pieces? How will you avoid big taxable events? And do you need smaller fractional silver for weekly cash flow? Planning this now saves massive stresses later on down the road. And I can make a full video breaking down retirement liquidation strategies if you guys would want to, so let me know down below. And mistake number 3 is ignoring storage and safety. When you cross 2,000 to 5,000 ounces, even 1,000 or 500 ounces, storage becomes a real topic. Not fear-based, just practical. So ask yourself, do you have secure home storage? Do you need a safe upgrade? Will you split your stack between home and vault? Do your family members know your plan in case something happens? You don't need to broadcast it to the entire world, but you do need to have a plan. Mistake number 4 is stacking without a target. The biggest mistake that leads to burnout. People stack blindly and feel like they're never getting enough and eventually slow down or stop. When silver is $50 like it is today, that feeling gets stronger because the cost per ounce is way higher. But when you set a target, 2,400 ounces, 4,800 ounces, or even 10,000 plus ounces, suddenly you have direction, purpose, and momentum. Every time you add an ounce, you're not buying silver, you're getting closer to your retirement. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video or maybe learned something new. If you did, make sure to like, subscribe, and comment down below and let me know how many ounces you're at right now. So I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching.